Let's set our intention for practice today. Living our lives takes courage. To access this courage, we need inner strength that we cultivate through meditation and yoga. These practices develop strength from the inside so that we will have the courage to address our personal challenges both externally and within. We'll begin in hero pose, sitting back on the heels. The breathing technique that we'll be using is called Ujjayi breath. This is also called the ocean breath or the Darth Vader breath. If you are unfamiliar with this breathing technique, zip on over to the Learning Lab and click on Yoga Tutorials, and you'll find a nice little video that teaches you the Ujjayi breath. Since we'll be holding the postures a little bit longer in today's practice of yin yoga, the Ujjayi breath comes in handy for focus and control. Let's come on to the hands and knees. Tucking the toes under, we're going to sit back toward the heels for a toe squat. Some of the poses, such as this one today, are not going to be very comfortable, so you can come forward onto the fingertips to make this feel a little bit better. Otherwise, sit back and breathe. Use the Ujjayi breath technique to focus. This stretch is particularly helpful if you suffer from plantar fasciitis. Let's come forward onto the hands and knees, relax the feet, and sit back once again, bringing the hands a little bit further behind you, leaning back for an ankle stretch. Feeling the tops of the feet open. Should be able to go a little further just because we sat in hero for quite some time. This is a great stretch for the knees as well. Yin yoga creates space in the joints, so if you suffer from knee pain, this is actually really good for you. Continue to focus on the breath. Let's come back up, and we're going to tuck those toes under and sit back once again for our toe squat. Breathing here, notice if it feels a little bit better this time around, now that we've stretched those toes out before. Yin yoga addresses the ligaments, tendons, fascia, and joints, all of the connective tissue. And those tissues need a little bit more time to release, which is why we hold. Come on forward, release the toes, sitting back once again, coming into a nice ankle stretch. See if you can go back a little bit further, and notice if there's a bigger opening in the knee joints, it feels a little more comfortable. If at any time you experience any pain in the poses, please come out of them. For this one in particular, a rolled towel or blanket between the knees might be helpful. And come on up. We're going to move into deer pose. So we'll come to seated, where we bring the right foot against the outer left thigh and then bend the left knee so that the left foot comes beside our left hip. And then take the right hand to the top of the left knee for a little twist. The left hand can rest on the left ankle, or if you want to bring it behind the body for a deeper stretch, you can. But since we're going to be here for a little bit, go ahead and just make it a nice easy stretch for yourself. This is a gentle hip opener as well as a stretch for the knees. Coming center, we're going to take that twist on the other side. So the left hand comes to the top of the right knee, the right hand goes behind for support, and breathe here. Once again, that Ujjayi breath comes in quite handy when we're holding the poses. And coming back to center, we're going to release this side and come on to the other side. So this time the left foot comes into the right thigh, the right ankle comes toward the right hip, and we'll sit up nice and tall and come into our Ujjayi breath. Then we'll bring the left hand to the right knee and the right hand behind the body just for support, coming into a twist to help open the knees and the hips. Breathe and focus here. And then coming back to center, take a nice breath, and we'll turn to the other side, bringing the right hand to the top of the left knee, left hand behind, deepening the twist, keeping the spine straight, and looking over toward the left side of the body. Since we're holding these poses a little bit longer, it is a great time to go within, be with the thoughts, cultivating that courage that we need to live this life. Focusing on the breath. And listening to the body, listening to the guidance within. Coming back to center. Taking a breath here. And then we're going to go ahead and release the legs, just bringing them out in front. And then coming to lie down on the back, coming into happy baby. So grabbing the outer sides of the feet and pulling the knees down toward the shoulders or the armpits. This is a great hip opener, and we're just going to hold it here and breathe. So usually we rock side to side in happy baby, but when we're doing a yin posture, we're just going to hold that stretch and allow the hip joints to soften and release and open gently, focusing on the breath. Then gently release the feet down to the earth. We're going to go ahead and stretch out both legs, and then take the left leg, bending the knee and placing the left foot on the outside of the right leg. Taking the right hand to the top of that left knee, pulling it over for a twist. And just resting here, allowing the low back to release. You might feel a stretch along the IT band. And just breathe and relax and see if you can soften with each exhale. While we're here, we're going to move into a move called the cat pulling its tail. So keeping the left leg where it is, bend the right knee and reach with the left hand to grab hold of the right foot underneath you. Then extend the left leg long and flex the left foot. See if you can rest here as this spinal twist has deepened. Continuing to breathe with the Ujjayi breath technique, and listen to your body. See if it has anything to say to you right now. This is a great stretch for the right knee. So again, if you suffer from knee pain, Yin Yoga is going to be your friend. And then gently coming back to center, bringing both feet to the earth, knees pointed to the sky. We're going to switch sides, so the left leg is long. We cross the right foot over the left leg, reaching with the left hand, grabbing hold of the top of the right knee, coming into a stretch, a side twist. And just resting here for a moment, allowing the hips to release, letting the back soften, twisting out any tension that you might be holding on to. And of course, focusing on the breath. And then bending the left knee, reaching with the right hand to grab hold of the left foot or ankle, and then extending the right leg long, coming into the cat pulling its tail. Feeling a nice stretch in the left knee, flexing the right foot to protect the right knee as that leg is suspended. And once again finding rest, relaxation, or maybe the courage to stay here for the duration. Sometimes people have difficulty being still for longer periods of time, and that's where yin practice comes in handy, cultivating that skill of patience, observation, and presence. Now we'll make our way up to a seated position, bringing the soles of the feet together for butterfly pose. Cradling the feet in the hands, sit up nice and tall. Inhale here. On the exhale, bend the elbows and tuck the chin toward the chest. We're going to be here for a little while, so relax. Feel the hips open, feel the back release. If this isn't very comfortable, if you're very tight in the hips, you may want to place blankets or blocks underneath the knees for support. And then come into listening to your breath and listening to your body. There will be a moment where the hips will release and you'll be able to go a little bit further. So maybe if you're using props, now would be a good time to remove them. Remove the blocks or the blanket to see if the hips have opened enough for you to let go a little further. Go ahead and come up. We're going to come onto the hands and knees, just like we would for cat and cow. The knees are going to be under the hips and the hands underneath the shoulders. Now we're going to stretch out the ligaments and tendons of the wrists and forearms. So turn the hands so that the fingers point back toward the knees, opening up in the forearms. And then, if it's comfortable, you can lean back slightly until you feel a nice pull in the front of the forearms. If that's too intense for you, come back forward, and you can play with leaning forward or going backward depending on the amount of stress that you want to place on your wrists and on those connective tissues. If you spend any time at a desk or typing a lot, this is a fantastic stretch to give you a little more space in your wrists and to relieve that tension in the hands and the arms. Breathe through it, you're almost there. Okay, let's turn the hands back forward gently. And we're going to step the hands up about one hand length, coming into pigeon pose by sliding the right knee forward, letting the right foot come out to the left side. Let the left foot slide back. The hips are square, the hip bones are facing the earth. You can come down onto the elbows. Feel free to stay here, or you can rest your head on your hands. Now we're going to be here in pigeon for about 2 minutes. So if you'd like, you can place a block or a pillow underneath your right hip for a little bit more comfort. Otherwise, stay with your breath. The Ujjayi breath is fabulous here, focusing on that soothing ocean sound with each inhale and with each exhale. Right about now, the hips should have opened quite a bit more, and maybe you can release and relax even more into this pose. If you're using props, maybe remove them and see how far you can go with pigeon. Otherwise, just rest. Begin to come back up onto the hands. We're going to tuck those left toes and slide the knee forward slightly to slide the right knee back and come into an extended child's pose. Taking a few breaths here, notice how much space you've created in that right hip. Coming back up to all fours, we're going to step our right foot forward, coming into a low lunge. So the right knee is at a 90-degree angle, right over top of the right ankle. We're going to move into the winged dragon. So the left hand is on the earth and the right hand comes to the inside of the right knee, pushing the knee away so that the right foot turns onto its side. This is a nice deep hip opener. Breathing here nice and steady. Gently roll the right foot flat, and we're going to extend the right knee coming into half splits. So this is a great hamstring stretch, letting the hands be down on the earth. Again, there can be a bend in the knee if this is too uncomfortable, but see if you can try and let that leg straighten out. Feel that nice pull in the hamstrings. And then releasing the right foot back down, bringing the knee back underneath the hip. We're going to move into pigeon pose on the left side. So walking the hands forward slightly so that you can slide the left knee forward and wiggle the left foot up just a bit. The right foot releases back, the leg releases, and then you can come down onto the elbows, making sure that the hips are square, meaning the hip joints are facing the earth. And then maybe come on down, resting the head on the hands. Once again, we're going to be here for a little while. So focus on the breath. Maybe prop your left hip with a blanket or a pillow or a block. And focusing on that breath, let those hips release. Gently start to come back up onto the hands, tucking the right toes, sliding the right knee forward, sliding the left knee back, coming into an extended child's pose. You should have quite a bit of movement, quite a bit of space in the hip joints now, so you can rest a little bit deeper here. And then coming back up to all fours, we're going to take our left foot and step it forward, coming into that low lunge, 90-degree angle in the left knee. The knee is right over the ankle. The left hand comes to the inside of the left knee, pushing it away. Right hand is supporting on the earth. We're up onto the side of the outer edge of the left foot. This is called winged dragon. And the gaze is toward the left side of the body, or maybe even upward toward the sky. Feeling that nice deep opening in the hip joint, breathe into it. Left foot come back. Go ahead and extend the left leg. Hands are to the earth, bringing the forehead toward the knee for half splits. Once again, you can keep a bend in the left knee if it's too uncomfortable. Otherwise, take it nice and easy. Use the breath. Feel that hamstring letting go. and gently bring that left foot back. We're going to sit back into our extended child's pose. Take your time, nice and easy, rest and relax. Noticing the space you've created in the hip joints, maybe sitting back a little bit deeper. And then coming up onto all fours, we're going to make our way onto our back. So once you're lying down, just go ahead and relax. We're going to be pulling the feet into, pulling the knees into the chest. And just hold them there. Feeling the low back release. Relaxing, letting the shoulders be soft. And letting the breath be full. And then go ahead and release the feet down to the earth, letting the legs relax all the way down, coming into your final resting pose, Shavasana. Enjoy, you have earned it. Hopefully this slow yin class will help you create space in the body and cultivate the courage that you need to live this life, facing all of our challenges, internally and externally. Let the breath be full and slow here. And allow yourself another deep breath here. Beginning to come up to a comfortable seated position. Take your time. While yin yoga is very gentle, it can also be very difficult. Keep coming back to this practice to strengthen your courage anytime you need it. Thank yourself for practicing today. Namaste.